Good morning. It's Susan, and I'm back. I'm in LA right now. I'm sitting outside of my hotel room. I just came off a leadership training for the past couple of days. I've got one more day, and I'm going to be hanging out with a group of people that I work with, and we're going to do some extra masterminding. And just being in this leadership training, I just wanted to share with you that it's really solidified for me that when you step up in a leadership role, you will have followers. You really do position yourself as an expert, and that will actually create a flow of clients coming your way. So there's a couple of different ways that you can be a leader. One is start a Facebook group, just like I did, and now I'm talking to you. And it's positioning yourself as the leader of a group. And if you have something to say, then get in there and say it and ask questions and tell people what to do. So having your own group is awesome. Creating an email opt-in page where you have something, a freebie to give away that you'd really love to share with people. And just by doing that, you're attracting people who want what you have, and then you can feed them some nurturing email sequence where you take care of your list and you start to grow your list. Offering to interview people and put those interviews out to your list or your Facebook group will position you also as a leader. There's no better way to learn how to public speak than to start interviewing people. One quick ninja trick that I used in the beginning when I first started interviewing was I would say to the person I wanted to interview, because I didn't know really how to do that years ago, I'd say, send me a list of 10 questions that you'd like me to ask you. And that way the person felt like super promoted and happy, and then I could just have this perfect little template and ask them questions, and I got really, really confident. And later on, was able to actually come up with some of my own questions that I wanted to ask, and later not even have to ask people to do that, although it is a super time saver for you. Another way to be a leader is to start a meetup group. I have a ton of friends and colleagues who really make their businesses from this from starting up meetup groups or joining other types of networking groups and getting on boards or being part of the leadership community there. Once you are a leader, you know what? You're usually on the stage, you're getting interviewed, people are asking you questions, and you actually start to get to know more people because it's your group. Hey Brandy, nice to see you this morning in LA right here. And hey Jill, nice to see you as well. I'm sitting on my back porch of my hotel. Sorry for the noise. Housekeeping is going by with a cart. And we're talking about leadership. And what's really cool about it is that the more you step up into a leadership role, it really does position you to be an expert. And I'd love to answer any questions that you have about that and continue this conversation. Not sure, it's like 8:30 here in LA, or a little bit after, and on the East Coast, it's about 11:30. It's Wednesday morning. People should be opening their laptops and joining us and seeing us on this Facebook Live at this point of the day. I also wanted to share with you something that we've been learning at our training, and it's called the A to B model. And we all have a project possibly that we're working on, or something in our life that we have an idea of where we are, and we want to move the needle and get to the end goal. So, for instance, I launched this Facebook group in February 1st, and I had a goal that I was going to get to 250 people in the group by the end of February, and that didn't happen, and that's because life happens. External forces happen. Perfection isn't available. We live in our minds that we can get from A to B. I'm going to get 10 high-paying clients in 2 months, and there are people that can actually hyper-focus and do that, but most of us will have really lofty goals, which are great because it gets us in momentum and action. But in actuality, things do take longer and things happen. For this group, I ended up having some travel, so I couldn't really pay attention to enrolling as many people into this group as I wanted to. For other people, I didn't expect that I was going to have somebody mail for me a couple of weeks ago, and when he mailed for me to my list, all of a sudden there were 150 new members in this Facebook group because of one person that I really hadn't planned for. So now we're, I don't know what it is right this moment, maybe 415, 416, 417. But I'm meeting my goals, but it didn't actually happen in the way that I planned. And so if you picture a line with the A and the B, and I just had a live visitor come across my room and join my Facebook Live, actually live. Maybe she'll get on and introduce herself. That was great. That the A to B is you're going across this line, and then you're sort of dipping down when things don't go right, and then maybe things go a little haywire and you're dipping and you're going up. And so in reality, something that you thought might take you a day, a week, a month, or a year ends up taking longer. But what's really cool about it is if you do it again, the same thing. Like if I was to start another Facebook group, now I have a learning curve, and now I know what it really takes, and I can build in life happens, and I can build in what could possibly go wrong, and I can build in, oh, that was a really, really great idea, like to have somebody mail for me when I was starting my Facebook group and then drive traffic to my Facebook group. So the perfection of getting from A to B starts to narrow and get closer. So the next time I do it, I'm faster. And the next time I do it, I'm even faster. So think about anything. Think about if you're a parent, your child is learning to walk and they want to walk across the room. So the toddler gets up and they obviously fall down. Then they get up again and they fall down. And then, a week later, they're toddling across the room and maybe they only fall once or twice. And then eventually they learn to walk. Well, it's the same thing with a project. We don't really know what we're doing in the beginning. We get better as we do it. And as we repeat or rinse and repeat and do it again, we get even better. And so one of the things that I've gotten really great at in terms of systems is enrolling people into my mastermind group. And the reason it's working is because I found by default, by mistake, like I had an intention that I was going to enroll X amount of people into my mastermind group in January, but I found one thing that really worked really well, and I continued to repeat it. And to this date, since January, I've signed over 60 people into my coaching programs and individual coaching because of this one thing that I figured out. And when you find that thing, don't look at it as sort of an anomaly. Say, what is that? And how can I use that to do it again and again and again? And then you can teach it to other people. And then you're a leader. Then you're an expert in your field. And once you're an expert and you have a system that really works, people will follow you, they'll join you, they'll come in your Facebook group, and they'll even hire you and pay you money to teach them as well. So I just wanted to give you a short hello from LA. If you'd want to leave a question now or later, I'd love to answer that to you and continue this conversation about leadership. And one more thing I want to leave you with. Business is hard. Being in business isn't always a picnic. And here we go with the noisy cart again. If you can just hold on for a second. There we go. So you want to just have some, what we're learning actually here is to have some compassion for yourself and compassion for others. We're not perfect, we're human. As my mentor says, perfection is not available. So just toss that one out the window. And just be kind to yourself that, you have a lot going on. You probably have more than your business. You have a family possibly, and maybe a job, and maybe other responsibilities in your life. So just because you have an intention of something doesn't mean that, again, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. But the more you do it, the more you practice, and the more you forgive yourself for your imperfections and your humanness, the more successful you'll be, and the more vulnerable you'll be, and the more transparent you'll be. And people love that in a leader. They love people to share who they really are. And I hope that I've done that for you this morning, and I hope we can chat later. Have a great day.